It seems like it was yesterday that we began our 9-day trip in the country of Jordan. I never would have thought Jordan would land as one of my favorite countries to date. We experienced so much in these past days to make our trip memorable. Episode 1 brought us to the capital of Jordan, Amman. We took on some historical sites and discovered some foods that were different than what we were used to. We explored Little Petra in episode 2 and got caught in the middle of a dust storm along the King's Highway. Jordan is brimming with history, and our next destination would take us to one of the 7 wonders of the world, Petra. Episode 3 guided us through this amazing ancient city. It was a long and exhausting day, but we powered through it like champs. We got a chance to explore the southern desert of Wadi Rum in episode 4 and experience Wadi Mujib, by far our favorite excursion in Jordan. And in episode 5, we went to the lowest point on earth, the Dead Sea. Episode 6 brings us to our final destination of our Jordan trip, the old Roman city of Jerash. So sit back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, and join us on our final Jordan adventure, our SteinVenture.
Okay, it's a little bit windy here today.
A little?
Here, look at I can't really see the camera too well, but I think I have it straight on us. We're here at the King's Castle, and more to follow, but we have some very exciting and fun history lessons to go with this crazy windy video.
Yeah, if you can hear us because of the wind, I don't know if you can.
I don't know if you can, but try your best.
This part of the world seems so ancient, so different. You don't really see livestock being moved along the hilltop where I come from. Along the King's Highway lies Shawba Castle. Perched in a wild, remote landscape, Shawba Castle wins over even the most castle-weary visitor, despite being less complete than its sister fortification at Karak. It's especially intimidating when seen from a distance, as it sits on a dramatic hill imposing its might on the surrounding countryside. The castle was built in 1115 AD under the rule of King Baldwin I. Shawba Castle is particularly striking due to its remote location in the desert, which will make visitors feel a world away from home. It's about 118 miles away from the capital city of Amman and will take around 2 hours and 35 minutes by car to get there. The site is only a 40-minute drive from the renowned historic site of Petra. At the time of this video, entrance to Shawba Castle is 1 JD. That's $1.41 USD money. Those visitors who have purchased the Jordan Pass can visit Shawba Castle for free. It is open during the hours of daylight, so times vary depending on the season. Local guides are available to hire at the entrance gate for 10 JD. Shawba Castle is one of Jordan's most famous Crusader castles. There are a number of Crusader castles in Jordan, each designed to look out for incoming invaders. Although all that remains of the site is ruins, Shawba Castle has been well preserved and visitors will find some interesting artifacts. Due to its close proximity, a visit to the castle can be combined together with Petra as part of an extended day trip. We love places like this. Shawba Castle was huge and there was plenty to see and plenty to explore. You'll find yourself lost sometimes because it's so big. But that's half the fun. You're allowed to go into every nook and cranny and hopefully you'll find your way back to the entrance. Allow yourself at least an hour and a half to 2 hours for the site. This was a great way to start the day, and it wasn't even on our itinerary. Our driver recommended it, and we're so glad he did. Heading north of Amman, you suddenly see a difference in the landscape. More trees. Seems like ages since I've seen one of those. But soon the trees disappear once again to concrete buildings and a flood of street vendors. We've made it to our final destination, the city of Jerash, a fascinating ancient Roman city that is located just 50 kilometers from Amman, Jordan. Jerash is considered the most well-preserved Roman ruins outside of Italy. It's also one of the busiest tourist sites in Jordan. One wouldn't expect to see such a magnificent Roman complex in the Middle East, but the Roman Empire stretched far and wide at the height of its power. This place was huge. So put on some good walking shoes and prepare yourself for a 3-hour tour. We were blessed to have one of the best tour guides within the complex. His name is Mohammed. He was fun, energetic, and he knew his stuff. The impressive oval forum of Jerash in Jordan measures 90 by 80 meters. The square dates from the 2nd century and is framed by columns. The unusual oval shape perfectly connects the axis of the Zeus temple with the one running towards him, Arcade of the Cardo Maximus. At its prime, Jerash housed 20,000 people and really began to flourish during the time of Alexander the Great. Located along the trade route, the city thrived and continued to grow until 800 AD. The city then was destroyed by a major earthquake. It's still very well preserved because it was buried under desert sand for a very long time, and it wasn't until 1806 archaeologists discovered it. Our next section of the city would be the mausoleum of the Roman market area. Surrounding the fountain in the center court is a very ornate colonnade with capitals of the Corinthian order. Today, there was only one vendor in the mausoleum. He's an artist, but his artwork doesn't require a piece of paper and a pen. But instead, he works with colorful sand to create a beautiful piece of art in a small vase. Surprisingly, it doesn't take him very long to complete his masterpieces. And just like the Karnak temple in Egypt, you'll find pieces of the city lying around waiting for a proper home. You'll also see plenty of curious friends roaming around. At this point, we're about an hour into our tour and we just made it to the north side of the city. The great thing about the city of Jerash is that you can explore the grounds as you wish. I haven't seen one do not enter sign yet. This particular building felt like we were walking down an ancient concourse of a baseball stadium. But to our surprise, it was a very well-preserved theater. There are 2 theaters in the city, and this one is the small one. My wife immediately had to showcase her dancing talent for the 2+ crowd. Man, can she move. I made my way down the steps so I can get the stage perspective. This time, I made it down in one piece and didn't trip. The design of the amphitheater was flawless. Stand center stage to hear your voice echo for all to hear. The North Theater was built around 165 AD and enlarged in 235 AD. It was most likely used for government meetings rather than artistic performances. Mohammed told us of a much bigger one on the south side, so we were anxious to get back on the hiking trail to experience the grander theater. It is hot out here, and rarely you'll find that tree to cool under, so bring a nice hat and plenty of water. As we pass by some beautiful desert flowers, and we make our way up some very old steps, we stumble upon an impressive temple. Artemis's temple. Massive pillars surround this temple, and if you're strong enough, you might be able to move one of the pillars.
Okay, so there's that. Okay, good.
Moving the pillar with one arm was pretty impressive. Mohammed showed off his skills.
Nice.
Now it was my turn. Amazing. You see that spoon moving? With the view of modern-day Jerash in the background, it was hard to imagine this city in its heyday thriving as a trading city. Mohammed had told us that most of the homes today included the original stone from the people's home of ancient Jerash. That's pretty amazing in itself. And just a few steps away, we finally made it to the South Theater. Obviously, this was the more popular of the 2 theaters. Maybe it was due to the proximity from the entrance of the city. It was a much closer hike than the North Theater.
views.
Or maybe because you had live music to indulge in. Whatever the case, it was much bigger than its sister on the north side. And once the tempo started to ramp up, my wife quickly found herself on the dance floor. They were the only two dancing, but who cares? The crowd seemed to love it. Then slowly more people began to wiggle their way to center stage. Muhammad promised us a singing solo act, and boy did he deliver. It was beautiful. My wife tried out her pipes with a popular Latino number. And I put on a comedy act for everyone. You might know this one. Jim Carrey as Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
That's a lovely accent you have there. New Jersey?
Thank you very much. I'll be here for the next 5 minutes. Our trip in Jordan was quickly coming to an end. Soon we would hop back into our car and head to the airport. We never thought in a million years that we would have liked this country as much as we did. We made plenty of wonderful friends here, and it was hard to say goodbye.
Habibi, Jerash,
Time stands still as we daydream a place of gladness. Jordan is that place. It was fun, adventurous, and a joy to experience. Thank you, Jordan, for the wonderful memories.
Think of a place where there's only brightness. Take me by the hand and we'll try to find it. Time stands still as we lie and daydream. It feels so real, can you see what I see?
So where do we go from here? On the next SteinVentures, we head to South America for a once-in-a-lifetime trek up the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu. It's going to be a long and exhausting 4-day trek that will take us up a mountain with very little oxygen. The sights are beautiful, and we bring along our nephew and his wife to tackle this beast. Will we complete the hike? Or will some of us quit? We're going to need a lot of coca leaves to finish this adventure. If you loved this episode of SteinVentures, please hit the like button, subscribe, tell all your friends, and remember, keep traveling.